This segment of Panther Sports Talk is brought to you by Lincoln Savings Bank. At home in Iowa, at work for you.
Welcome back to Panther Sports Talk. We're here in the UNI Panther volleyball locker room as we sit down with head coach Bobbi Petersen. They have a big mission trip going to Central America here. But let's talk about what's happened since the last time we talked to you. You're preparing for the NCAA tournament, had another at-large berth there, 24 wins last season. How special was last year, and how do you take that momentum into the off-season in the winter months and into spring volleyball, Coach?
Well, I always think when you come off a year like we had last year, it's very motivating going into the spring, but just a really special year. We had 5 seniors, so that's hard. That's a big number for us. But what I loved about our senior class is what they tried to do with the underclassmen and trying to, we always feel like we have a great culture at UNI, but I think it's the seniors and it's the upperclassmen that try to keep that going. You don't just walk in and the next year the culture is there. It has to be built and it has to be carried on. And it was a mission of our seniors to not only do the best that we could on the volleyball court, but to put that culture down to the rest of our kids and make sure that they carry out as we go into the future. But a really special year. Anytime you get an at-large bid, you know that you've done the work during the season to be able to earn that. And we did a great job against Creighton. It was one of the most heartbreaking matches to walk into the locker room after that. It was so tough, but knowing that everybody put everything they had, from the person that never put in a point to the players that played every single point. Everything was given in that match, and we came up on the short end, but Creighton went on to make it to the Elite 8, and so nothing we can be too sad about with that. But great group, and then heading, obviously, we don't go again until January to get a little bit of time off to think about things and get motivated for the spring season. And spring is what I call the best time of the year for coaches in terms of development. Is probably the toughest time of the year for our players because you're doing a lot of conditioning and weight training, and then you get to play, but you don't get a lot of on-court time. It's a lot of practice without playing, but it's a really special time of year for us in terms of development.
So the seniors are awesome on the court. Are you seeing them passing those lessons on, and even though they're not physically with you, the next group taking their leadership and learning those lessons? Yeah,
definitely. And the biggest thing for us is finding that leadership. When you have 5 seniors, I think a lot of the leadership is taken care of. You have little things that people might do here and there that are underclassmen or maybe the juniors, but trying to find that leadership is also a big part of our spring, and just figuring it out. It's not easy to hold yourself and your team accountable all the time, and it takes kind of a lot of work. We talk about that. Just like you work at different skills in the court, you have to work on your leadership as well. And we have some kids that have really stepped up and are working hard at trying to do that. I think it's just like anything. Sometimes you try and it's not the best method, and then you go back to the drawing board and try something else. And you have a lot of different personalities you're working with. You know, you work with individual personalities as well as a whole team concept. So leadership can be pretty difficult. But very proud of our group and the way they're buying in and really bonding this spring.
So it's important for the leadership and for the bonding, the individual work, but you also had some competition where you can try different lineups, try different things. Talk about what you saw out of the competition against other schools.
I think the biggest thing is the opportunity to play against other teams, because we do a lot of practicing throughout the springtime, and we were able to get on the court. And just what I like about it is you can try people in different positions. It really gives an opportunity, and it might not be as much pressure as the fall, but it's definitely more pressure than practice. So getting those people, you know, the ball is being served right at me in a match type situation. It's not practice where the consequences might be running, or, you know, these consequences are the matches on the line. And so you get that little bit more pressure. And I really am proud of our kids and kids that have never been on the court, and how they stepped up and were able to, once they got the kinks out after the first 1 or 2 sets, being able to feel more confident in what they're doing. I think both our setters, actually, Heather and Rachel, did a really good job of leading the way offensively and making people feel more comfortable, even when the connection might not have been there, to stay with it and stay the course, and knowing that those kinks will be worked out. Our defense, again, I think we're going to continue to be one of those scrappy teams. I think we have people that are fighting hard on defense, so hopefully that gets carried on this year as well.
All right, more with Bobbi Petersen after this here on Panther Sports Talk.